So maybe we can take it from there.
Tichatanga na Mukupe. Mukupe ndo vakati he was one of the worst finance ministers ever. Basing on what Mr. Mukupe tinasi muripo vabiti varipo tinogona kutangira ipapo.
Ndinopedza zuva rese ndichitaura about how he was such a bad finance minister. Number one, kana ndakatarisa nyaya civil service, he failed to rationalize my numbers in civil service. And time yavo, he also failed to pay my pensions my civil servants. NASA ne peace masa kunakana my pensions akabhadharwa. Also, when you look at trade, vaka remove my exchange controls angaripo since 1965. And Agama removed during his time. And the only person Agazoma destroyer was when Mamanguchika came in. And what I found interesting is good, like before he had come finance minister, he was out there saying Guti Ndigangoita finance minister, the first person on Chasunga and Gonondo Kandam Jerry. But guess what? After he left Basareo finance minister, he became best friends Nagono, and I'm sure good Wagachika. And then when you look at government debt, he failed to properly keep my proper records of government debt, and you'll actually find good. And he also went ahead to start ignoring all my foreign creditors. And we got to zona paka shinamasa ndo paka to zoita the Lima plan. Let's start engaging my creditors, yes, and let's start making sure that we become good corporate citizens.
Thank you. And then tinombomira ipapo zvinozowandisa zvakapaila kunzvimbo 1 maswera Tendai Biti tokutendai togamuchirai pa 326 Express.
Thank you.
One of the worst finance ministers ever to exist in Zimbabwe. That's according to Mr. Mukupe. Vakataura facts 1 or 2, 3 or 4 facts. Vakataura zvavari kuona ivo kuti ndo zvamakatadza kuita muri muoffice. And chikwereti chehurumende chiri kunzi chakaramba chichikwira during your tenure.
Yeah, national office, being a member of parliament, being a government minister requires a responsibility, requires circumspection, requires introspection. So you just don't rant and rave like a drunkard. You just don't rant and rave without facts, because you've got a responsibility to communities, you've got a responsibility to Zimbabweans. We want peace in this country. We want stability in this country. Therefore, it's very important for leaders to behave in a manner that befits the positions that they hold. The Government of National Unity started functioning on the 16th of February 2009. When I became Minister of Finance in 2009, there was $4 million sitting in a bank account at CBZ. When I became Minister of Finance, inflation was 500 billion%. The government had just printed a $100,000 trillion note, Zimbabweans would remember, which couldn't buy you 2 bottles of soda. When I became finance minister, there was absolutely nothing in our supermarkets except water, nemaputi. When I became finance minister, 90,000 Zimbabweans were afflicted by cholera, and 4,000 Zimbabweans had died of cholera. When I became finance minister, the maternal mortality rates, the infant mortality rates were some of the lowest in the world, in the history of mankind. But we turned around this economy. We turned around this economy, and we turned around this economy on the basis of fiscal discipline. We turned around this economy on the basis of honesty. We turned around this economy on the basis of craft competence. If you look at the average growth rate of our economy between 2009 and 2013, the average growth rate was 10%. So that's the highest ever achieved by any minister since independence. The next minister, who is number 2, and I brought you a graph to illustrate that. The next minister who follows, so you don't have a number 2 or number 3. The next minister who is in a distant third in terms of growth rate is Chinamasa, on an average of 3.2 growth rate. When I became finance minister, we ran a strong regime of monetary fiscal control. We did not run a budget a deficit. We did not create domestic debt in the economy. As I'm speaking to you right now, this government has run a budget deficit that is 30% of GDP. Varikudya mari sekunonzi mushonga wemsana, and the statistics speak for themselves. Let me come to the issue of
thank you.
Two
Are you happy with what you said?
No, you know,
hurumende vakuti ivo vakawana 10% more than what you said.
I think
I want to respond.
I think he had an entire program to himself. He had an entire program. So you want to be fair. Let me speak.
If he's going to be the only one speaking, then I think you might as well have an interview with him by himself. But I thought that I should be able to respond to what he's saying.
I believe that this was a challenge.
Yes.
We will also allow Mukupe.
Yes, so let me respond. I also have to respond.
Can I speak about sovereign debt?
Thank you, Mukupe.
He raised the issue of sovereign debt. He raised the issue of sovereign debt. Sovereign debt is what the country owes to other countries. What the country owes to other countries. That's what is called sovereign debt. Our sovereign debt right now, as I'm talking to you, is around 13 billion US dollars. Added to the domestic debt that this government has created on their own, we're not talking of total debt of around $20 billion. This debt was contracted. The last time that Zimbabwe contracted debt was actually in 1999. When I came in 2009, the government, no one was lending money to our government. So chikwereti chandakasvika chiripo, chikwereti chakatraktwa 10 years before, up to 1990.
And you didn't do anything as a Minister of Finance.
Let me finish. Zimbabwe doesn't have the capacity of paying $20 billion. We don't have the capacity of paying $13 billion as a country. So what we did, we set up a debt management office ran by Andrew Vumbe, who then consolidated and validated that debt. That debt management office is still there. We then adopted a program on the 23rd of March 2012 called ZADS, the Zimbabwe Accelerated Arrears Debt and Development Strategy, so that we start clearing it. But most importantly, when I came in, Zimbabwe's voting rights of the IMF had been suspended in 2004. The IMF had suspended Zimbabwe's voting rights. So you can't negotiate debt without a program with the IMF, a program called the Staff Monitored Program. So one of the first things that I did was to negotiate and to normalize Zimbabwe's relations with the IMF, which was a big task, but we succeeded on the 19th of February 2010. That then allowed us to start implementing the debt resolution strategy called ZADS, the Zimbabwe Accelerated Arrears Debt and Development Strategy.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Tilipapo, you said Avanauka Javakaita IMF, World Bank, that's according to you, Mr. Mukupe.
You see, BT likes to use my big words, and I'm sure this is what Arabanajamansgis. Regaindi tower in Zakariruka. That's a interrot sometimes can well fundaga. Try to Munwesans Gisargumbok. BT Pawakaita Minister of Finance #1. And Munus was already to budget deficit. Reason why I'm going to get a budget deficit, what BT Vagada see and a my local suppliers is square to high fungi zero good Zanu PFOs and Zagai was Vagaregra Badar. Pamsoro Pazo ignore my foreign creditors, IMF, New World Bank, Kutakuna Gana Maria Badaroko. That's why I want to watch Namasa Pogas and Dogas any Lima plan. I'm just going to change out to Panagambo. Panipamaga Munzor Sindagam anyway. Akuna, and then Chimachim Jandra to Muzie. And Patura one Taroti Susu to no fire one in the West. Avana kana credit line kana 1 yaoka mbobvira vaita sei vaita apana kana mega deal kana 1 yaoka mbobvira vaita kana chinhu chinobatika chekuti nongedza kuti icho chavakaita chakaunza mari munyika hapana. And then chimwe chinhu chamusiri chandinoda kuti mubate handiti vari kutaura nyaya yegrowth rate kuti yeye nyika yakatanga kukura growth rate ye 10%. Kana chinhu chapa 0 handitika from a mathematical point of view chinoshiluka as if paitika a phenomenal growth rate. As nays vachina masa vane proper
zero
vamugabe wanga uranyika handi zviri pachena. But like the point andinoda kutaura imwe nhema dzavari kutaura dzekuti hanzi vari kutaura kuti pavanga varipo hapana kana zvikwereti zvavakaita. Do you know kuti dambudziko rine mapensioners ekuti mapensioners ezvinezvi zviri kunzi government ngaichibhadhara vanhu vepension because pension yevanhu haichisipo ava vabiti ndo pavakaita right off Zimbabwe dollar vakabva vaudza kuti vanhu vese vanga vane mapension ayakabva enda pa0 munoziva ini mbuya wangu inini chai wangu apedza basa vakasara vasina kana chinhu handiti saka you find kuti as a result ndosaka tine problem yekuti vanhu vese vepension tiri kugadzirisa nyaya yekuti no zvakaitwa navabiti vakakanganisa vanhu ngavadzorerwa mari yavo vanhu vepension. And then also even maona nyaya dzemanesi dzekuti manesi kuti vanotaura kuti mari dzedu hatina kupuhwa mari dzedu ingo yavo bcause vakaregera kubhadhara vanhu mari. And then pane chiri kunakidza last point yandoda kumeka handi vari kutaura kuti hanzi vakasvika mumakofers mune $4 million chete handiti vabva vaenda hakuna kana chikwere chaitika and everything. Ndikakuudza iti pula newspaper remuna February 2013 2 months before varegera kuva Minister of Finance vakasiya government ine $217 vabita and it's here handiri kukurakidza $217 yavakasiya government inayo.
In case you're just joining us, mari yatiri kunzwa kuti hanzi ndo yakasara yaamo amene mozvionawo sei?
ndo zvanambotaura zvezvekuti nyaya dzenyika hadzisi nyaya dzemubhawa hadzisi nyaya dzembanje. If you hold a public office you must be serious, you can't be a clown. So kundidaidza kuno kuzodebata neclown I find it very demeaning.
Let me finish. I mean, you have to take that because no, if you're going to start trading insults, can you take that back? Which are the problem? You go down to Kavan. First of all, it's interview. You go down to Kavan. Nay, Chaura my face. I go down to Kavan. What on the Tuga? Nay.
It's okay, honorable Mukupe. That's what I already my facts.
When the Government of National Unity started office in 2009, there was $4 million in the bank account of the government. When the government of Zimbabwe started working on the 16th of February, the total money in circulation, in the name economist, broad money supply M3, yangairi $250 million mu Zimbabwe yese. So what we did, takadaidza vanhu kuti uyaimise mari yenyu, takatwika neinonzi capital account muchirungu. Capital account ndo account inorekodha ma capital inflows ese. So by the end of December 2009 tangatane $1.8 billion yanga yamu banking system nekuda kwa zvatakaita isusu. When I left as finance minister, the money sitting in the banking system as deposits was $6.5 billion. That is why it was possible for anyone to go to an ATM and use your card and you got your cash. Dambudziko rakazoya nevarume ava kunyanyanya Chinamasa who went and ran hurumende isina discipline. Fiscal deficit yanambotaura iyaya, budget deficit yandakambotaura iyaya. Vakatanga kuishwa ma-treasury bills vachisapota recurrent expenditure, vachitenga dzimotikari, vachisapota ma-travel expenditure asina musoro. So that budget deficit yavakacreata yavakakoza kuti vachinotora mari ku-central bank. Zimbabwe is the only country in the world right now where the central government keeps an overdraft with the central bank, but the central bank is broke. So that means kuti mari dziri kutorwa nehurumende ku central government, ku central bank, imari yako iwe iri kubanki, nyaya yangu iri kubanki. That's why you and I can't go and get mari iri ku mabanki because yakashandiswa nehurumende vachisapota budget deficit yandataura iyaya yapa pa 30%. Ndoda kuuya kunyaya yekunzi taisa bhadhara. Firstly, any banker ought to know kuti kana uchinyora ma books of accounts unoshandisa inonzi accrual system. So accrual system haine sendera wabhadhara, inongoone zvikwereti zvese. So it's not a cash payment, zvikwereti zvese tanga tisina, because government of Zimbabwe uses accrual method. We never had any debt. That's why mukatarisa toda kukupai iri gwaro iri, harisi gwaro rangu, igwaro rehurumende yeZimbabwe, igwaro rava Chinamasa ramswa July 20, 2017. Mukaenda pa page 106 rinotaura zvikwereti zvehurumende from 2009 to 2016 ndichazokupai mafigures a2017. So mugore ra2009 the government of national unity yakaita surplus ye $35.5 million. Mugore ra2010 takaita surplus ye $196.1. Mugore ra2011 takaita surplus ye 22.1. This is the first time in 25 years since independence that our government actually ended the year with a surplus.
So meaning your tenure was successful.
Of course, this is their document.
Okay,
So let me come. Yeah, let me finish. Yeah, let me finish. Mugore takaita my election. Gora 2013. We had a small deficit because election is expensive. Yeah, 9.8 million. Ngati chuya ku 2016 tamu 1.4 billion deficit. Because zvino gore ra 2017 vasati vapublisha mafigures vane chikwereti che 3.5 billion chedomestic debt chete. So mabatirwo upfumu hwedu ashaishika. Ndo pandine dambudziko navachina masa. Ndo pandine dambudziko nehurumende yeZANU-PF. The management of the economy is warped.
Thank you very much. With us in the studio, we also have Mukupe. We thank you so much for choosing us to facilitate our part.
Yeah, it's quite interesting when some useless fact. He bought furniture. The Prime Minister's office 4 different times. Furniture during his tenure, and he talks about issue. We have to be prudent, and he was buying furniture 4 times during that time at GNU.
At the same time, I'm could be facts, and we need facts.
We've got the reports. They're going to be made public.
Can he tell? Can he please learn to tell the truth?
Yes, and those will be public.
A minister does not control. A minister does not control money.
You opened an account to Prime Minister's office, which had no authority, and there was
thank
no
you,
authority. There was no cabinet authority for that, and you're transferring money to the Prime Minister's office.
Mr. Mukupe,
a minister doesn't do that,
and you did that, and that's corruption of the highest order, and you did that.
Mr. Mukupe, facts.
So,
thank you.
And let me talk about this. Is Wango Torres. You know what? He's so good at twisting my words. With the advocates, you should have my sanctions. It meant that we were not going to be able to borrow money externally as government.
That's not true.
So because we can't borrow money externally, guess what that means? We had to borrow money locally. So that's why domestic debt it's natural. So there's nothing sinister about that. And then the other thing, ZANU-PF. And guess what? Vachinamasa, when he came in, he was like, listen, we can't let my farms go. We created my treasury bills. Could my farms atange kupampa? And you can see Goriko, every farmer is happy. And then the other thing that I also want to point out is so when we came in, we decided, listen, we have to pay his credit to my suppliers and suppliers. It meant the domestic debt had to come up. So you can't then have a situation industry just because you want to make it look pretty on paper. And then there was another gross there was deposit growth. Those were not deposit growth. Increase my long-term debts from zero. They were zero minister. I can to $4 billion. And those $4 billion loans, unengone matching what? Unengone matching entry, which then appears as if my deposit. Sakachin jawaru my deposit growth yakaitika hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. And then wakataura dhanzi kwakapedzera kwangu money in circulation $250 million from pawangu aripo. He's forgetting to tell people what he did is kuti akasvika akakanzura $1 for everyone. And when he cancelled $1 for everyone, $250 million arutaura imari yanga yakagara mu nostro accounts. Yes. So no. So the point that I'm making out, he cannot then make it seem as if Iwo waka create a mari. hapana chaakacreata, because if anything, if anything, let me explain. If anything, what he did was to create a situation yekuti he started breeding externalization, which was only corrected namanguja when he came into force. So this whole talk yekuti all of a sudden there's this local domestic growth. What did you expect to kuti tite say? Iko kune ma sanctions. What do you expect us to do? Tiri kuda ma farms atange kupampa, and ma farms kuti atange kupampa, it's those treasury bills that he's talking about.
You know what is so self-evident listening to him is that he has no idea of what he's talking about. He has no idea at all about what an economy is. Yeah, he has absolutely no idea.
From you.
Let me explain. Let me explain how a government functions. Let me explain how an economy functions. An economy functions, number one, on the receipt of revenue and expenditure.
And
so
what about debts?
The government. Let me
And what about debts? You see,
thank you, Mr. Mukupe. Let him finish.
Misleading people. Comma debts is credit. Revenue and expenditure. Comma debts. Same amska, but it's credit.
It's okay, Mr. Mukupe. And then more opinion.
Why were you not paying my credit?
Mukupe. Stations are getting so chakadakwa.
Let's be so. Mr. Biti.
Let's be so.
Honorables, vanoremekedza tinokumbirawo Zimbabwe yese yakateerera ndimunenge makatimirira tinokumbirawo honorables.
I will be forced to switch off the mic.
No, so you should stop insulting me. I can also insult you the whole day. This is the second time he's insulted me.
It's okay, Mukupe, thank you.
Can you withdraw that statement?
ngatirambe tiri professional tinokumbirawo. Thank you. Imba Mukupe, let's just be professional. Titaure zvamabasa atafambira tinotenda. Thank you very much.
An economy functions on the receipt of revenue and expenditure. So the role of his finance minister is to manage the inflows and the expenditure. So one of the basic rules of economics is that you cannot spend that which you do not have. You cannot spend that which you do not have. That's why the mantra I had during the GNU, you can only eat that which you kill. You can only eat that which you kill. And so the biggest problem...
Why are they debt instruments? Why are they treasury bills if you cannot eat what you kill?
Mr. Mukupe.
What's the issue of creating debt? How do you say the
Mukupe. Thank you very much. Let's be factual.
My point basically is that the Zimbabwe is in the situation it is because of a total mismanagement of the economy by a regime that spends beyond its means, hence a budget deficit that is now 30% of GDP. We ran a primary balance. In other words, we balanced the books. Number two, he speaks about pension. The Justice Smith Commission has just published a report in Zimbabwe. That report is very clear. $5.6 billion worth of pension money was lost from pensioners.
And what,
that money was lost. That
it's about to finish.
How was it lost?
This is uncouth. This is uncouth.
How was it lost?
Thank you, Mr. Mukupe. I think he was about to answer that.
Yes, Gans.
The report itself explains how that money was lost. 44% of the collapse of the insurance industry lies with the manner in which the economy was being run, in particular the regime of hyperinflation. So that report is very clear at page 23. Very, very clear on hyperinflation. Number two, I think this is crazy.
I will allow our listeners to come through on 897-660-299. Ndivo vanotishandira ndivo vanokwanisa kunge vachikupai mhinduro. It is a new dispensation in Zimbabwe. We allow you to come through and ask questions, and remember to keep it radio friendly. We are the leading radio station in Zimbabwe, sounding good all the time. We have Mukupe Biti in the studio. Star FM, hello. Hello, Star FM. Hello. Yes, Star FM, hello.
Yes, Zorai volume koma, Zorai volume. Mushe kuri same koma.
Awandirinani, Tendai Biti, Nava Mukupe. Please go ahead, my brother.
Ndiripo vakuru makadini.
Chingoenda ipa point time yedu ishoma mkoma.
Ndichakumbira kuti mashoko enyu ange akachena hapana kutuka
Based on what?
Happy my facts. Let's not do things on partisan manners. Zekuti room change and don't go to my facts. Happy. This is finance. It's got nothing to do with Zekuti change. Next.
Thank you.
He's got nothing to say.
That call
He's got
and take
nothing to
another
say.
Star FM. Hello.
Those are numbers to Babiti.
Yes, you are through to Star FM. Please go ahead and make your contribution.
Right, this is to advocate PT and the Honorable Mukupe. What I want to emphasize on is first of all, in a factual ground. Why I would say so is we pay our revenue according to our expenditure. And then there are some type of expenditure, but it's now classified, they don't make expenditure. If you make some money, they don't know, and we don't have a long expenditure, when you put from the market, it's a 4 5 things. There's no need of tax money. But I told them when they come out with how many inflation is regulated. And now that I wonder, but what other things, what people are called on the which makes it the revenue according to the expenditure. And if you say that to the list, no, I mean, even if it's educated, you need to apply some wisdom. Saying it is the electorate. Imagine what he's saying now. If you know you want that we have done, how is he going to make sure you need
So MDC, that's what you understand. You've just sold yourself out to remove MGC. Can I go to ZANU PF and it's clear that you are one of the seated people of Biti. Yeah, okay, tozo sangana kuchinja kwenyu. Tozo sangana kumachinja. Tozo sangana kumachinja. Next.
I will.
Next.
Thank you.
It's just, you see, that's what I was saying. Good, like it's clear. Kutwa is going to seed people.
No seating because no one knew what to my phone calls.
We are it's imikwenyu kuzanu PF.
Yeah, but apana seed avamkupe. Zvatangoita pana patavura my phones. We didn't plan for this.
It's clear kutwa seed.
It's sounding good all the time. We will try and squeeze in a few more.
Let's have proper objective people.
660-897, 660-299. We are live on Star FM. Our Facebook page is at Star FM Zimbabwe. Find us there and you can get a live feed. Star FM, hello. Hello, Star FM. Taswera Maswera Anjadjango, please go ahead with your contribution. Tino 10. Zvino zvinotibatsira here mu new dispensation ino yatiri kuti zvino imimi kana hapana chamabuda nacho. Muchima
Thank you. Tinotenda, but tainzwa correction. Thank you very much. Siyabonga.
Yeah. No comment.
Zimbabwe 660-897-660-299. Tikatora 2 mafoni vamkupe vovhara vabiti vovhara tinoenda takafara.
Feel free to come through. Star FM, hello. ichokwadi wapinda reduce volume yeradio wagona
someone who attended to him. Otherwise, they that's how I accept your challenge. So let him explain whether he was here for you to learn mechanics or something. It's also so you mean to this is part of the world. Let me not sing it. Mario, you make a material. I was going to stand on the people and then Mario could have been killed. He was there with that. This guy is there, but he is one of us. We are elected. The economy moved to forward. Because the person that kid here, we were fighting at that. Zimbabwe was still a great sharp down cycle. So much. And all we need now, all your hustle, and let him explain. No, you planted code. No, he didn't plant code, but the same thing with the is used to reading.
You've just said it. You are saying ZANU-PF is used to rigging. Clearly, you're an MDC supporter.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think, unfortunately,
You see what I'm saying?
I had to drop
He
that
is
call.
definitely an MDC supporter.
At the same time, isusu vamukupe atikuudza vanhu vakati kuti phone. We just opened my phone kuZimbabwe as a whole. Last one.
Let's be factual. Star FM, hello. Hello, Star FM. Yes, you are through to Star FM, so thank you so much for calling. Please go ahead with your contribution. Yeah. Yeah.
So the one we have my emotions, we sort of mistake way a political of which is not about the secretary Twitter is good one way forward. So next time can I show and the last way I start social politics, but the last time I said we should do it now. So good quit the one day with the
I think the best
Thank you very
contribution
much.
that we've had thus far. Link
Right.
up with us.
So-
Let's hear from you.
nekuda kwenguva tichati vamukupe votaura mashoko ekupedzisira, vabiti votaurawo mashoko ekupedzisira. Chokumura kuti vamukupe musainterrupt vabiti musainterrupt vamukupe, so that toti tabudawo something paitika debate yataita nhasi.
All I can just point out is this. Hakuna nyika inobudirira isingatore chikwereti. That's why uchiona kuti ukaenda nyika dzese dziri muAfrica dzine mabudget deficits. There's probably 1 or 2 countries dzinoita surplus. And mabudget deficit enyika dzese idzodzo vanomavhara nenyaya yekuti vanozoenda kunana IMF vachipuhwa mari dzekuvhara mabudget deficit yayo. Chine basa chikwereti hachina kushata, but chakashata chikwereti chekudya, but kana chiri chikwereti chekuvandudza upenyu hwevanhu chikwereti chakanaka. And that's why uri kuona kuti zvikwereti zvaitorwa navachina masa, zvikwereti zvekuti unokwanisa kunongedza kuti zvanzi zviri kubhadhara mari dzemanesi, zvanzi zviri zvikwereti zvekuti tiri kuisa kumapurazi, zvanzi zviri zvikwereti zvekuti tiri kuvaka mugwagwa, zvinhu zvekuti unobata, but unoti zvekuti polisi yaitwa nana Biti yekuti munongopeta maoko moti hatidi chikwereti hachina kushata, but chauri kuchitorera chikwereti ndo zvakashata kana chiri chekudya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mukupe. Vabiti?
Yes, yeah, I think that Zimbabwe deserves serious people. I think that Zimbabwe deserves people that respect our dignity, our Ubuntu, and our value system. So I think that the danger of the past 38 years is that we've allowed the devaluation of that value system, and we've allowed into our body politic characters and elements that certainly shouldn't be there in that public platform. Coming to the economy, you know, we ran this economy. We turned around this economy. We created employment. We created and reopened the industry. We grew the economy in a very short period of time, in 4.5 years. Every Zimbabwean knows that. Civil servants were paid. Suppliers were paid in time. A civil servant knew that I would get my salary on the 23rd of a month, and we used to print a calendar at the beginning of the year, and would meet those dates. So what is required going forward is that we build an economy that is sustainable. We build an economy that is inclusive. We build an economy that is shared. Regrettably, ZANU-PF can't do this. They know it, and every Zimbabwean knows it.